don't like the weather in Minnesota, just wait a while. Tuesday was near 90 degrees, humid, and today in Eagan, Minnesota, the temps are absolutely glorious with 65 and warm sunshine. And as Mother Nature smiles on us, we have boys and girls varsity soccer action for you here on ETV. The Apple Valley Eagles have traveled north to take on the Eagan Wildcats. Apple Valley in white, Eagan in blue. We're set to go with the playing of the national anthem here at Eagan Wildcat Stadium. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nathan Cron. My normal broadcast partner, Skip Newton, is on special assignment, so we'll welcome him back as soon as he returns to the booth. In the meantime, strap in as we're going to have a game that has major consequences both in the section and conference between the Apple Valley Eagles and the Eagan Wildcats. Wildcats right now sitting at 4-5. Apple Valley at 6-5. Wildcats are fourth in the conference at 2-1. Apple Valley 3-1 in the conference, sitting in second place. Section games, section record for Apple Valley 3-2. Section record for the Wildcats 2-1. So huge game with major implications, not only at the top of the table for the conference, but also importantly the section and the section playoffs as those start in the second week of October. Really only approximately a third of the season left here for both of these teams. Apple Valley will be starting on the right side of your screen, wearing white with dark numbers. Wildcats will be in royal blue with white numbers. Going from left to right, center referee Ross Azu stands near the Wildcat in the middle of the field. And we'll be kicking off here very shortly. And don't forget, after this game, we will have girls varsity soccer action involving the Wildcats and the Eagles starting approximately 7:15 tonight. It is senior day. We will be appreciating and recognizing our seniors and their families at halftime, so stick around for that. But in the meantime, Hannon Axelrod's going to get us kicked off. And Michael Johnson's going to hoof that down deep as Jack Joseph makes a run. And it does trickle out of bounds. We'll set your defense here in just a moment as soon as we get a moment where there's not some major action. As Johnson takes it away from the Eagles and it goes into touch. Back line for the Wildcats, Walcaz and Redlin. Redlin back from injury at your center back positions with Jake Sondag and Jack Joseph at the outside back positions. Mikolo Jones, Michael Johnson, Derek Siet, and Emilio Villasenor in your midfield, with Hackenmuller and Hannon Axelrod, the freshman Hannon Axelrod, at the forward positions. This is Joseph. As I said just a few moments ago, major implications in this game. The winner of this game is likely to get a home playoff game, and maybe have still entertain ideas of having a number one seed in the section. As the cross comes in and is deflected out by the Eagles. Center referee Azu says that's a corner. Be the first of the game here for the Wildcats. Wildcats had a truncated game against Lakeville South on Tuesday. Check it, it's going to be a throw-in. Not a corner kick. Confusing signal there from up here in the commentary box. And nicely played out that time to Apukina. There's a beautiful through ball to Hannon Axelrod. Axelrod with his left foot. Oh, that's a great save, but it's not a great save, and it goes into the net. Castor got a hand to it, and honestly, from our position up here, it looked like he had made the save. And Hannon Axelrod strikes early in the third minute here for the Wildcats, where they lead 1-0. A beautifully weighted pass from Derek Siet, who will pick up the assist to Hannon Axelrod, who slams it home with his left foot. Again, from our vantage point, it looked like Castor had got a hand to it, and certainly and indeed he did. And honestly, I thought that was going to be a save, but it does get into the back of the net as Villasenor now is rampant. and commits a foul on the far side of the field. That's Hannon Axelrod's second career varsity goal. Scored his first goal in the 4-3 victory over Eastview. Certainly as a freshman on this field, not looking like a freshman at all. Earlier in the season, you might have thought that Axelrod was still looking around with big wide eyes, trying to adjust to the speed and physical play at the varsity level, but I think it's fair to say that Axelrod certainly has made that adjustment. Great play down the side by Lopez. Lopez takes it into the box, tries to center. Walcaz and Sondag there put it into touch. Eagles will let that slide off of one of their feet out into the corner. Hard to see from our vantage point. Nonetheless, a blue throw. Here's Axelrod pressuring Purcelli. And so far, the omens are good here for the Wildcats. The Wildcats have not lost when they have scored first. And when they have not scored first, they have not won this year, as Davis Hackenmuller now gets it on his right foot. Nice defense there by Briones on the outside. Nice 1-2. Jones is going to try to corral that for the Wildcats, but can't. It's Lopez again with it. He's got an opportunity. Sondag watching him there as Joseph picks up the ball and using his speed sends it out to Villaseñor. As a Villaseñor ball looking for Hackenmuller. Axelrod flicks it on, and had somebody been making a run, it might have been absolutely brilliant, but as it was, there were no other runners. And last year's match between these two teams took place down in Apple Valley, and it was the inaugural event on the new Apple Valley turf field. For years, Apple Valley, of course, with a lot of these 196 schools, had grass fields, and last season they adjusted to and put in a turf field at their main facility, as well as a practice turf field, just as they've done here at Eagan. That's why you have such great turf to play on out there. It's a nice crunching tackle by Briones. Hackenmuller thinking maybe there was a foul there, but instead just a crunching tackle. But last year's match between these two teams, and Hackenmuller is him playing the ball is a good opportunity for you to talk about it. Last year, the final score was 3-2 to Apple Valley. This ball finds its way back to Walcaz. Will go back to Woodley as Woodley puts it out into the middle of the field. Anyway, Hackenmuller was taken down in the box last year. Oh, here's a great break on the far side. And even a better block by Daniel Redlin. Nicely done by Redlin and Joseph. Redlin takes control of the ball, but then turns it over. Finds Johnson. Now Johnson to Villaseñor. Stop and go. And in any event, Davis Hackenmuller was taken down hard with contact in the penalty area with only a few moments to go in the game. Major controversy as the Eagan sideline absolutely erupted. Hackenmuller felt rightfully upset that there wasn't some sort of call, but the game ended up being 3-2 to the Eagles. It was a good Eagles team last year, not taking anything away from the Eagles, but there was controversy. Davis Hackenmuller would like nothing more than to put one in the net against these Eagles. It falls for Siet. Siet switches it. Can't quite find Villaseñor, although it was a brilliant switch. Villaseñor just couldn't quite come up with it. As we indicated, the last game for these Wildcats was on Tuesday night against Lakeville South as Walcaz turns the ball over. Here's an opportunity for the Eagles, and it's put into and over the end line for a corner. Safety first here for the Wildcats. But a turnover you definitely don't want to see on your back line. Wildcats had a lightning delay that ended up lasting too long, and the game was postponed. So they will restart that game at some point. The ball's up in the air, and it's going to go wide. Nicely done that time. Nicely done that time by the Eagles. Wildcats will resume with 4:06 in the first half against Lakeville South with a score of 2-0. Goals by Melvin Kamara and Derek Siet so far on the board. And so that is yet another game that is going to have to be finished at some point. It's an opportunity. Nice job. Oh, unlucky. Oh, the Wildcats allowed a break, and a foul was committed. Unclear if center referee Ross Azu is going to call the penalty on Redland or Walcott. Either one probably could have been the guilty party.
Call on the Wildcats.
And it was a great run by Alcapina to draw the penalty. And Acapina is going to go off because he was down and did hold up play, the restart of play. In the meantime, Espinoza Lopez is going to stand over it for the Eagles in a one-on-one matchup with Evan Woodley. Evan Woodley, the junior goalkeeper for the Wildcats, has faced penalties earlier in this game, earlier in the season. Now he's going to be called to defend this goal. Oh, Woodley got a hand to it. Unlucky. He guessed right. He had hands on it, but it stuck in off the outside of his hands inside the post. And now with 8.5 minutes in the 8th minute, the Eagles tie the game as Lopez slams home the penalty. Welcome to everybody joining us on the web, on our live stream, as well as on TV. Welcome to everybody from Apple Valley. Glad to have you with us.
Scoring for Apple Valley on the penalty kick, number 10.
It's a big ball over the top.
Espinoza Lopez.
And that ball's going to get out.
Time of the goal, 7 minutes, 43 seconds.
For an Egan corner.
Eagles goal scored by Victor Espinoza Lopez off the penalty kick. The time 7:43. Corner kick upcoming for the Wildcats. This will be their first.
Hackenmuller's going to stand over it with his right foot.
Davis Hackenmuller, number 7.
Punches it in. Looking for Redland. Redland going at it. We're going to have another corner from the other side. This will be the third corner here the second corner for the Wildcats.
Again for the Wildcats.
As number 7 trots again back into the corner. Now this will be an outswinger instead of an in-swinger, as he's going to take it with his right foot.
On the kick.
And it's going to find the top of the net. Unfortunately, not through the front of the goal, but through the back of the goal. So unlucky there for the Wildcats. But it is 1-1.
The game for Apple Valley is number 21.
Coach Boutali has changed the lineup a couple of times here on us in the last handful of games. Hackenmuller is going to commit the foul on Briones there. And set up the Espinoza Lopez free kick. And Hannon Axelrod was far, far, far too close within that 10 yards. We're lucky. I think he's lucky, if I'm honest, that Espinoza Lopez did not ask for 10 yards, or Hannon Axelrod would have drawn a yellow card.
On the Wildcats, free kick for
Center referee Ross Azu is making sure that he explains to Axelrod that he needs to respect the free kick distance. In any event, it comes in and it falls for an Apple Valley Eagle player. I think that was Ehlers, but he was in an offside position. Assistant referee Scott Madison quickly raising his flag to set up the free kick, the indirect free kick here for the Wildcats.
Apple Valley offside was the call, indirect free kick for the Wildcats.
Apple Valley Eagles, again, with a record of 6-5, coming in their last game was a 1-0 loss to the Rosemount Irish. That would always be a rivalry-type game, certainly, as Apple Valley and Rosemount are the two traditional two oldest high schools in the district. As See It goes around three defenders. Now it's picked to the side. Oh, nice attempt at a flick there by Espinoza. Jones is going to let that get out. Their next game is against the aforementioned Lakeville South Cougars at Apple Valley High School on the 27th. Wildcats had their 2-0 postponement against Lakeville South, which will again be made up at some point. And their next game is this Saturday against Waconia here at EHS, and that will be broadcast here on ETV. Redland leaves it for Walcott. Joseph swarmed, but breaks the press. Now Johnson loses it. Jones holding down the defensive midfield position. Hackenmuller with a nice touch from the outside of the right foot. What's he going to do? He's going to get it on his left foot. He's going to try to slide it in. Nice effort for Davis Hackenmuller to get that from his right foot onto his left. Just didn't quite get what he wanted on it, but he had a nice placement requiring Castor to go down and play it with both hands. That's one of the things that Hackenmuller certainly has, is the ability to use that both feet, but we've seen him generally tend to want to shoot with that right foot, so to see that left-footed shot is certainly a positive, encouraging sign. Joseph Villasenor. Villasenor is going to have that come off of his feet and go out of bounds. Walcott with a nice touch there, finds See It. He finds Jones. Jones's pass is intercepted. Nice play there by Espinoza Lopez. Back to Briones. To Perez. Now See It. He's got Hannon Axelrod streaking forward, but he's got a better pass to the outside. Hackenmuller loses it. He's going to have to recover now. Sondag's going to have to rush here, run very quickly to get back. Oh, great job by Jake Sondag. Good block. And now the Energizer Bunny, that is known as Jack Joseph for the Egan Wildcats, comes steaming forward. This is a 75-yard run. Make it an 85-yard run. Finds Villasenor. Villasenor's onside. The negative pass could not quite find See It. And now Hackenmuller has another opportunity. He's going to send it towards goal. Oh, it's almost spilled there by Castor. Nicely done by Hackenmuller. That was a dangerous little cross. And Castor did manage to spill it. Like Jones and Johnson are actually both holding what would appear to be a holding midfield position. That is a position right in front of the defense. You get a sense that that's a position or a formation that's going to lend itself and inure to the benefit of the defense. Meaning the Wildcats are probably going to try to play tight defense and then hit on quick counters, as opposed to necessarily having a lot of build-up play. But we'll see. We'll see as the game progresses how that works out. Series of substitutions for the Apple Valley Eagles. We'll try to get those folks as they touch the ball. There's one of them. Actually, Walt Hawkinson was in the starting lineup. I checked that. Here's a good ball and an overlap. Joseph's going to get to there first. He's going to get knocked down. going to go down, but that looked like a fair challenge from up here. Referee Ross Azu also agreed as the ball was taken. Unlucky there for Joseph as he made another great run. You want to enjoy a game within the game, set up a scorecard and count how many times Jack Joseph comes flying from out of nowhere and makes a 50-yard run. See if you can predict how many he'll make in a game. Always take the over. Hawkinson on the side finds Walcott. Walcott finds Jones. Jones has time, gives it to Johnson. Good switch all the way back to Hackenmuller. Nice spell of possession here for the Wildcats. Woodley pops it up in the air. That's going to find Ehlers. Ehlers turns. He's got Jones on his shoulder. A bit of a soft foul up here. Not a lot of contact there between Jones and Ehlers. But it sets up an opportunity for Espinoza Lopez on a free kick from about 35 yards out.
Free kick coming for the Eagles.
Wildcats will set up a three-man wall as the referee marches them back into a full 10 yards.
Number 10.
Header goes up, header goes down, played out by Joseph. Smartly done. The Wildcats were actually outnumbered in the penalty area by the Eagles, to my quick counting, so it was very fortunate for the Wildcats it didn't fall to an unmarked Eagle. Big throw. Sondag tries to chip it out. It goes across the box, finds Villaseñor. Villaseñor is going to send that forward. Axelrod goes down. Incidental contact. Nearing the halfway point here of the first half. Score 1-1. All knotted up. A third-minute goal by Hannon Axelrod from Derek Siet and a... Oh, now the Wildcats have really done it. They've turned it over. Espinoza Lopez, and he scores. Espinoza Lopez has a turnover, and he walks right in and beats Evan Woodley. We've seen it already tonight. The Wildcat back line has created some, has turned the ball over, and that's what happened there. So in the 19th minute, Lopez is going to score again to give the Eagles a 2-1 lead. Have to see if we can get the assist on that from the public address announcer.
Scoring for Apple Valley, his second goal of the game. Number 10, Victor Espinoza Lopez. It is unassisted.
It's going to be called unassisted in the 19th minute.
2 minutes, 2 seconds. Eagles goal, second of the game for Victor Espinoza Lopez. The goal is unassisted. The time 18:02.
As pointed out earlier, that's not the first time the Egan back line's been victimized. There have been a couple of opportunities, including the run that set up the penalty, and a play before that even that resulted in a scoring opportunity. So that's 3 times now that the Egan back line has been not in a position to, is either turned the ball over or hasn't done what it needed to do. Certainly Coach Boutoulier will be having to clean that up or to have a talk with the players as they come off as substitutions. In any event, Wildcats still have the possession of the ball now. Hackenmuller is going to move to the middle of the field for Villaseñor, who sends it over for Johnson. Pass doesn't get there. Villaseñor's pass just isn't intercepted. Credit to Lopez as he was knifing through after taking the ball. He made Evan Woodley come out and then was able to slide it over as Woodley took away most of the net, but Lopez was able to find a corner. As we all know, keepers cannot cover the entire net. It's just physically, practically impossible. The keepers try to cover as much as possible, and if the perfect shot beats them to the corner, so be it. That was an excellent shot by Espinoza Lopez. Ball's going to go out for an Egan throw. Wildcat boys and girls booster clubs would like to thank their platinum sponsors that make Egan Wildcat soccer possible. The Egan Arms Public House, Twin Cities Orthopedics, the Urgency Room, Wave Soccer Club, Willie's Edina Realty, and the Egan Hockey Association. Thank you to our platinum sponsors and your support of Wildcat soccer. The ball's going to go out of bounds as Blake Prouty has checked in. I think we are going to have some other substitutions if the referee's not going to have them put the ball in play first. The ball comes over for Redlin. That's Joseph. Joseph's going to try to get through two defenders, and he's going to draw the foul. And one of the defenders is worse for the wear. Certainly nothing in that from Joseph. Can't quite pick up the number. It is number 2. Ethan Snyder got the worst of the collision with Jack Joseph, although Joseph did earn the foul. We have a series of substitutions here for the Eagles. And number 23, Nathan McKinnon is going to check in for Tyler Walcott at the center back position. Free kick's going to be taken by Redlin from just in the Egan side of the midway line. Puts a foot to it, slides down, lands just inside the penalty area. Nicely done. Falls for Villasenor, but can't quite control it. Now some fancy footwork. Crosses with his left foot, looks for Hannon Axelrod. Can't knock it down.
In the game for Apple Valley is Santiago Olivo, number 19.
This is Redlin on a wander. Nicely done. Now Hackenmuller needs some fancy footwork to go around 2 or 3 defenders. Nicely done. It's in the net! Oh, Davis Hackenmuller, your right foot is golden! Hackenmuller crushes a ball from 25 yards out into the top net after dancing through the defense. Oh my heavens, what a goal! Castor was not in a bad position, and Axelrod just absolutely crushes this ball. It's a straight shot. What a banger. Hackenmuller squares the game at 2 in the 22nd minute. What a shot by Davis Hackenmuller. You heard me extolling the virtues of his right foot earlier. And that's what it can do. We are going to have to wait to see who gets the assist.
Scoring for the Wildcats, an unassisted goal scored by number 7, Davis Hackenmuller.
Well, unlucky for the Wildcats, at least on the score sheet, but it's going to be called an unassisted goal.
Wildcats goal scored by Davis Hackenmuller, unassisted, the time 21.
Nevertheless, in the 22nd minute, Hackenmuller squares the game at 2, and that is huge. Free kick for the Eagles finds its way to the penalty area and is flicked out. Villasenor smartly finds Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller making a run. Hannon Axelrod was onside. No, he wasn't onside. Little confusing there. Assistant referee Mohamed Zidane
for the Eagles
raised his flag very, very late when it certainly appeared as though Hannon Axelrod was going to get to that ball first. I'm really surprised that he didn't raise that flag earlier. It was a close play. In any event, we have a restart, and the Wildcats in blue certainly are feeling rejuvenated after Hackenmuller's blast from 35 yards out. Joseph nicely done. Unable to keep control of it, but excellent job of defending the ball. Espinoza Lopez, the Eagle with the brace so far, has checked back in. Meanwhile, the Eagan Wildcats would like to thank, and the Wildcat Booster Clubs would like to thank their gold sponsors: Ansari's Mediterranean Grill, Rami Cormont at Colwell Banker, Denise Schoberg at Keller Williams, Elite Feet Soccer, Orze Poke and Ramen. This ball finds its way into the penalty area and is going to get chipped well over the top of Evan Woodley. Other gold sponsors include Teresa's Mexican Restaurant, ZZQ Barbecue, Birchwood Dental, Defani's, Divine Salon, Escape With Us Vacations, Sam's Club, Union Fit MN, and Zerbel Orthodontics. Thank you so much to our gold sponsors for helping support and make Wildcat soccer possible. Well, exciting first half, whether you're a neutral or a fan. 2 goals apiece. A little collision there. Not actually a collision, just lost his balance. Was Cifuentes. The referee's going to go check on Cifuentes. Check it, it's not Cifuentes, it's Ehlers. The 12 looked like an 18. 18 looked like a 12. Prouty finds McKinnon. McKinnon switches the field. It's intercepted, but comes back to Redlin. Daniel Redlin, the senior captain, nice to see him on the field, as he had not only a preseason injury, but also an aggravation. As Siet calls for it from Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller's pass can't quite get to him. And now the Wildcats will reset. Nice run of play there by the Eagles. Nice control as Hackenmuller's going to steal this one. Finds Siet. Was looking for Prouty. Hackenmuller may have clipped that one as Axelrod chips it over the top, looking for Villasenor. Can't quite do it. And, and that is a crafty soccer play. Davis Hackenmuller felt the pressure, knew the player was coming from behind, stopped, knew he was going to get hit, and made sure that he went down in a noticeable way. Nicely done that time by Davis Hackenmuller, drawing that foul. His style of play lends itself to some fouls that don't get called, so certainly can't blame him for trying to draw the foul when he can. Center referee Ross Azu very particular as to where he'd like Hackenmuller to restart with that ball, but he puts the right foot to it, finds the penalty area. It falls for Siet. It's on Siet's foot, and Siet splits the uprights. Unfortunately, the football game's not until tomorrow night. Unlucky that time for the Wildcats, as it was a great free kick that landed almost exactly on the penalty spot. And Siet fell for Siet's foot, and Siet just couldn't quite slam it home. Speaking of Siet, he's going to exit now, and Melvin Kamara, who scored his first varsity goal on Tuesday night against Lakeville South, will check in to replace him. Huge goal for Melvin Kamara,
number 2.
and a real opportunity for that young man to get more playing time and demonstrate some real quality. Hugely entertaining game from a neutral standpoint. 4 goals, 2 aside. And Villasenor's arm is going to draw the foul there. 4th foul for the Wildcats. 3 fouls in the half for the Eagles. Nice defensive header there by McKinnon. The ball's flicked by Johnson, by everyone, but Hannon Axelrod's going to give chase. He's going to collide with the keeper, Castor. There was light contact. There was some contact there. There's an opportunity for the Eagles on the other side. This is Hawkinson. He's going to earn the corner Unclear whether the referee was allowing advantage to be played or whether the referee saw that contact between Hannon and Castard and didn't call the foul. In any event, it's going to be a corner kick to the Eagles on the north end of the stadium.
On the kick will be Victor Espinoza-Lopez.
Espinoza-Lopez unlikely to score this time, only because he's the one taking the corner. Sends it into the penalty area. Nicely done. And we've got a push. Got a push from a penalty call. A penalty kick called by center referee Ross Azu. I'm utterly confused as to what happened. On the far side, there was some contact with several players, but
call on the Wildcats. It's in the penalty area.
It's another penalty, and Lopez will take it.
And the kick will be Victor Espinoza-Lopez, number 10.
The contact was well away from the ball. I mean, it was 15 yards away from the ball. And Espinoza-Lopez buries it in the back of the net. He went to the other side. Woodley thought maybe he might go back to that same side. And Woodley has to make a decision. That time it did not pay off for him. 29th minute. Lopez completes his hat trick here in the first half. Eagles 3, Wildcats 2. We do not have a replay capability here, so we'll have to go back later tonight and look at the game film and see if we can find exactly what happened there. There was a coming together of players, but I didn't see anybody go down. And the ball, in any event, was a good 15 yards away from the spot at which the referee seemed to say that the contact took place. So, again, utterly confusing on that one. Obviously, the referee saw something he didn't like and judged it to be a foul. Abibaw's ball far too hard for Briones. And Villasenor unable to control on the near side. So Wildcats find themselves in a hole here with about 10 minutes to go here in the first half.
Number 16 back in, also returning is Ethan Snyder, number 2.
We'll see if Coach Boutali can keep these Wildcats focused and make sure that they stay locked in, as there's everything still to play for in this game, despite the fact that they've conceded 2 penalties to the Eagles. Prouty taken away, the ball taken away there by Abibaw.
Taken number 8, Gabe Abibaw. Save made by Woodley.
That ball was hit with some substantial force. McKinnon and Redlin, they come together. Advantage is going to be played by the referee. It's Hawkinson on the far side.
Attention, please.
Hernandez Perez. Hernandez Perez on the side now, taking the throw. Briones has stepped up.
Onto the running track.
Stick around at halftime, as we will have a ceremony honoring our seniors and their parents. And it's Teacher Appreciation Night for the girls, so there'll be a halftime ceremony for them as well. There's Jack Joseph flashing his speed, earning the throw and breaking what would be called a press by the Eagles. Still another hugely entertaining half of soccer. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, 3 goals for the Eagles, only 2 for the Wildcats.
Assistant referee was signaling for a foul there on the Wildcats. Center referee wasn't having any of it. Redland's going to come back and send that towards touch. Hackenmuller's got a little bit of room. Nice job by Briones to take it away from Hackenmuller. Joseph's going to play that away defensively to Redland. Nicely done by Jack Joseph, setting up his teammate. Now here's Kamara. A little bit of frustration here for the Wildcats as they seem to be struggling a little bit to kind of get some continuity after that third goal. Johnson sending it well over to the side. It's deflected or headed back in by the Eagles. A first half hat trick by Espinoza Lopez. This ball gets over the top. That's Tariq Salim who had checked in. Taking Sondag's spot. A cross comes in. Ball's going to get hoofed over. Axelrod's going to go up for it, but the much taller Eagle Purcelli is going to come down with it. This ball is going to be played in, and Woodley's going to be coming off his line quickly to take that one. Nicely done, as Jack Joseph had run out of gas. And with all the runs that he's made in this game, you can't really blame him. I'll remind you that football, ETV will have Eagan Wildcat football against East Ridge tomorrow night starting at 7 o'clock here on ETV. Wildcats are 1-2, coming off a loss to Woodbury, but they will definitely be expecting to get a better result against East Ridge after having a nice game against Park Cottage Grove. And of course, the boys and girls soccer teams will be playing this Saturday, starting at noon, against Waconia in a non-conference game. Axelrod playing the ball over to Villaseñor. Joseph. Villaseñor has it taken away. Wins it back. Nope, doesn't win it back.
Two substitutions for the Eagles. Back in number 21, Abdali Ahmed. Also back in is number 19, Santiago Olivo.
Ball goes into touch, and the Wildcats will have a throw. Foul against the Wildcats. Their fifth of the half. It's going to be a free kick for the Eagles just over the midline.
Foul called on the Wildcats. Free kick for the Eagles.
Floats in. This could be trouble as Woodley comes off his line. Nicely done that time by Evan Woodley. Looked like there might be an Eagle ramp running around loose. Woodley was able to corral that ball safely. You get the sense in the last 4 minutes here of this half that the Wildcats really could use some momentum, even if they don't score. Even if they're not successful in putting the ball into the net, you get a sense that getting a little bit of momentum back before halftime would be a good thing for them. The last few possessions they've had, when they've had an opportunity to possess the ball, there has not been a lot of continuity. Redland's going to hoof this forward, looking for Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller wins it nicely for Prouty. Prouty back to Hackenmuller. Salim on the overlap. Ball comes into Settler. Oh, nicely done.
Number 7.
Could not tell if anybody was offsides in that position. The center referee and the assistant were communicating. Hackenmuller nicely done with trying to take that ball away. Can't quite run it down. McKinnon controls it, loses it. The ball's going to be slid in, and Woodley smartly off his line. Wildcat defense has been a little bit more stout here in the last handful of minutes. Not been the breakaways that we've seen from the Eagles here in the last 10 minutes or so. Johnson tries to put in a tackle, misses. This ball falls for offside. We're going to have a foul. Yeah, we are going to have a foul, as Hawkinson had broken free, but Salim did a nice job of using his body to shield off Hawkinson. And as a result, there was a foul to the Wildcats' favor. Apologies, there are a handful of Eagles out there that we do not have numbers for. And unfortunately, we were not able to get any updated roster information for the Eagles. So apologies if your son, grandson, nephew, or friend is out there and I'm not able to call his name. Comes back for Redland. Woodley nicely done, chips that up and high. Good defensive header that time by Kiefer. Senor manages to maintain some control. Kamara waits on the ball, has it stolen away from him. Oh, nicely done by Prouty. Here's Hackenmuller. He's got an opportunity. He's going to put his right foot on it. It's going to go out of bounds, into touch.
Less than a minute remaining, first half, 1 minute.
Nicely done by Hackenmuller. Remember, stick around, folks, as we are going to have a halftime ceremony for the seniors. Hackenmuller slides it in with his right, and it's in the net! Hackenmuller slams it over. I believe they're going to give it to Kamara. I think it's going to be Kamara. We'll have to wait for the official announcement, but Melvin Kamara is celebrating like he just won something. In the 39th minute, Melvin Kamara, 2 games in a row, young man, nicely done. And just like that, we've got a 3-3 draw sitting in front of us at the end of this first half. What a cross by Hackenmuller. Nice job by Kamara and Axelrod to be in the right position. But Melvin Kamara really doing the job. Yep, absolutely. Melvin Kamara from Hackenmuller. And that was the kind of thing that the Wildcats really needed. Well tackled there by McKinnon, playing some of the best soccer of his life. What a huge change for the Wildcats. Going into the half, down a goal versus sitting level. This ball gets hoofed towards the goal, and it's going to be Axelrod in an offside position. So, ladies and gentlemen, 3-3 here as we move to halftime. Stick around for the senior event, and we'll be back for the second half shortly.
The score of the Egan Wildcats 3, the Apple Valley Eagles 3. Halftime intermission will be 10 minutes. We will have the senior night ceremony for the Wildcats boys soccer team coming. also like to thank our Wildcat parents and families. You've played an important role in our high school community. The support of your son or daughter's efforts in the classroom and on the field has made everyone's experience richer. Your gifts of time, talent, and enthusiasm make our high school and community a better place. And now let's meet our 19 seniors. Starting with number 0, Justin Schreiber. His parents are Jennifer and Tom. His favorite high school soccer memory, he says, the bus rides home after winning away games. His plans after high school are to attend a 4-year university to major in aviation. Justin Schreiber. Next, Will Walters. His parents are Kirsten and Scott. His favorite soccer memory in 10th grade, while on a bus ride, one of the teammates asked if they could pet the cows they saw on the trip. Plans after high school are to graduate from a 4-year university and double major in music performance and physics. Will Walters. Next is Michael Cron. His parents are Nathan and Christine. His favorite memory being on the varsity team with his brother in the 2021-22 season. His plans after high school, he hopes to attend the University of St. Thomas. Michael Cron. Next, Gabe Frost. His parents are Rachel and Ben. His favorite soccer memory, playing with his older brother on the same team his sophomore year. His plans after high school are to study political science at a Big Ten university and go on to law school. Gabe Frost. Melvin Camara is next. Parents T.T. Brown and Bronco Tamba. His favorite soccer memory, scoring 4 goals in a single game during his freshman year. After high school, he plans to attend a university or college. Melvin Camara. Next is Jack Joseph. Parents Jenny and Jim. His favorite soccer memory, all of the pasta feeds and breakfasts. His plans after high school are to go to a 4-year college or university. Jack Joseph. Next, Jacob Tran. Parent Hong Win. His favorite soccer memory, winning our game against the Luthies last year. His plans after high school, he says, college and sleep. Jacob Tran. Next, Ryan Leonard's team captain. His parents, Sarah and Steve. His favorite memory, scoring his first varsity goal against Prior Lake in his sophomore year. His plans after high school are to attend a 4-year college. Captain Ryan Leonards. Next is Captain Derek Seat. His parent, Ansoni. His favorite high school soccer memory, scoring a penalty kick during the playoff game when we played Rosemount my 10th grade year. Plans after high school are to study business and play soccer. Captain Derek Seat. Next is Emilio Villasenor. Parents Ceci and Julio. His favorite memory, a teammate helping me with my shoes, scoring my first goal and Sebi tying my shoes right after in celebration. His plans after high school are to study finance and architecture. Emilio Villasenor. Next is Reese Olson, unable to attend the ceremony. Next we go to Liam Fretland. His parents, Mary and Dan. His favorite soccer memory during his sophomore year. This is going to sound familiar. One of my teammates asked Coach if we could pet the cows we saw while we were driving on the bus. Plans after high school are to go to college. Liam Fretland. Next is Captain Daniel Redland. His parents, Karen and Marcus. His favorite soccer memory, watching his friend stand up for himself in a game. His plans after high school are to attend a 4-year college. Captain Daniel Redland. Next, Copus Street. Parents are Catherine and Stefan. His favorite soccer memory during his freshman year, he says, we finished our game in Blaine early. We went to cheer on the varsity team, which was losing at the time. We were cheering so loudly, and the varsity team scored 3 goals and came back to win. His plans after high school are to study Japanese and go to Japan. Copus Street. Next, Nate McKinnon. His parents, Rachel and Kevin. His favorite high school soccer memory, he says, when I dropped the whole plate of cookies at Jacob Brasso's pasta feed. His plans after high school are to attend a 4-year university and major in business. Nate McKinnon. Those are our senior players. Now let's meet the senior student managers, starting with Grace Forrester. Her parents are Brad and Mary Beth. Plans after high school are to attend a four-year university and study aerospace engineering. Student manager Grace Forrester. Student manager Cassie Moneybond is next. Her parents, Sophia Prung. Her plans after high school, she says, get my generals and move to a university. Student manager Cassie Moneybond. Next is student manager Ava Meisinger. Her parents are Chris and Tom. Her favorite high school soccer memory, she says, being able to be part of the team without actually being on the team. Her plans after high school, to go to UNL, I think that is Nebraska-Lincoln, or KU, Kansas University, for her bachelor's degree. Student manager Ava Meisinger. Her final senior is student manager Macy Miller. Her parents are Shelley and Mitch. Her plans after high school are to attend a four-year university. Student manager Macy Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, as our seniors and their families continue the journey toward graduation next June, let's thank them with a round of applause for the contributions they made to Eagan High School and to the Eagan Wildcats boys soccer program. Good luck, seniors, in all of your future endeavors. Congratulations to the Eagan Wildcats boys soccer class of 2023. You have so much to be proud of. Thank you all for helping us celebrate this very special night.
Cops and Bobbers is designed to offer opportunities for kids that may not have a chance to fish to come out to some local lakes in Eagan and experience some of the fisheries that we have. And they'll be spending time out in the boats with some of our officers. They'll be spending time fishing from a pier behind us. And then they're also going to get to see what we do on a daily basis.
I came out to learn a little bit about fishing and talk to the police, see a little bit about how they interact with the community. It's a way to see that the police are good guys, that they care about the community and care about, making memories with family and with the community.
You might only see us on your worst day. This gets to show you that we are people. We're invested in this community, and it's a way for us to give back.
Welcome back to ETV's coverage of boys varsity soccer. Hope you enjoyed the senior opportunity in the senior presentation at halftime, saying thank you to all of these seniors, both the players as well as the senior managers that have given so much to this program over the last 4 years. And hopefully, if you're a Wildcat fan, you're going to have a few opportunities in the playoffs to play a few more games. Need to bring you guys up to speed, the audience up to speed a little bit on something that happened at halftime. We were just informed that Coach Boutali and Coach Anand for the Wildcats both received yellow card cautions at the end of the half. So they are going to be on their best behavior for the rest of this game, certainly. As the Eagles are now going to kick us off. The Eagles in white, moving from left to right. Wildcats in blue. 3-3. It's all knotted up. And rather, we've seen a handful of what I would call less than probable goals. As Redlin there comes in and puts the tackle into Espinoza. Looking for Alcopina. It's turned away by Walcaz. Axelrod's going to give this chase, and that's going to find touch.
Clock is stopped by the center referee. A yellow card is being issued against the Wildcats.
Davis Hackenmuller is going to find himself on the wrong end of a yellow card right now in the 41st minute.
Issued on number 7, Davis Hackenmuller.
Center referee Ross Azu pointing to an earlier incident. Apparently cautioning
43 was the time.
Cautioning Hackenmuller for conduct that had occurred earlier in the game. Looked like a foul or some sort of contact earlier in the half. So Davis Hackenmuller will take a quick seat on the bench. Be replaced by Melvin Kamara. Kamara comes in and earns the corner. Now Hackenmuller certainly an excellent player, but also now on a yellow card for the rest of the game. He'll also have to be on his best behavior. It's a break down the far side. This is Espinoza. He's already got a hat trick here in the first half. 2 penalties and a goal from open play. Johnson goes in for the tackle, misses it. Fortunately, Mikolo Jones for the Wildcats able to come up with it. Now Villasenor with it. Villasenor finds Redlin. Continues the switch to Joseph. Joseph's going to flash some speed. He's being watched by Ababaw there. Can he get to the corner? He does. The ball goes out of play.
Goal kick for the Eagles.
Castor will take the goal kick now for the Eagles as the Wildcats regroup. Again, 3-3, with the Wildcats nicking a goal in the last minute of the first half. This ball comes back to Woodley. He chips it forward, nicely done with the left foot. Jones taking the spot of Walcaz, nicely switching. See it. Drawing the foul. See, it's going to draw the foul from about 35, 40, about 40 yards out.
Free kick upcoming for the Wildcats.
This is a situation where the Wildcats have put free kicks into the penalty area. Villasenor is going to stand over it.
Number 11, Emilio Villasenor on the kick.
Looks for Kamara. Comes off Kamara's head and will drift over the end line for a goal kick. And to reset the stakes of this game, the winner of this game may find themselves with a chance, not only with a chance for a number 1 seed in the section, but perhaps home field advantage all through the section. Certainly a top two. Even the team that doesn't come out on top is likely to point to this result and say that they deserve a home playoff game. In any event, there's a lot to play for here for both the Eagles and the Wildcats.
Johnson with it, cleans that up. Finds Kamara. Kamara finds Siet. Siet sends the ball forward for Hannon Axelrod. Ball could not quite get to where Axelrod wanted it. It's a good ball by Siet. Axelrod was just coming in a little hot. Quickly take the throw. Johnson puts a right foot to it. He's going to chip it towards the goal. Oh, it's off the crossbar.
Shot taken, number 13.
Kamara tries a volley and commits the foul in the far corner. You might say to yourself, wait a minute, should Kamara be trying to take that on the volley? Well, his first goal against Lakeville South was a play somewhat similar to that off of a corner where he slammed it home. So when you're Melvin Kamara and you've scored 2 goals in 2 games, your foot's golden. You got to keep shooting. If you're not subscribed to the ETV's YouTube channel, you're really missing out. The YouTube channel has exclusive streaming. There's a potential turnover here again by the Wildcat defense. Fortunately, Redland is able to corral it. There's still some pressure here. Sondag's playing on the defense. Here's a shot for the Eagles, and it hits the crossbar of the football uprights. Fortunately, going out of play.
Shot for the Eagles.
But another defensive breakdown reminiscent of what we saw in the first half. As I said, you're not subscribing to ETV's YouTube channel, you're missing out. The YouTube channel is the exclusive streaming home for all of ETV sports. Subscribe so you don't miss a game, and also not only can you get all the live stuff, but there's a large archive of games in the past for ETV that you can see. So you can see last year's game, you can see you can see different sports, all sorts of great stuff on ETV. Make sure you also follow ETV on Twitter, as you'll get the latest updates on coverage and game availability. Ball ping-pongs around to Siet. Siet finds Kamara. Kamara goes around 2 defenders, makes a third fall down. Nicely done, Melvin Kamara kind of scuffs it a little bit, but it falls for Johnson. Johnson takes an extra touch. Oh, Michael Johnson, he'll want that back. As Ababa comes flying forward, Johnson went in for the tackle. Lucky he didn't make it, because that would have been a yellow card caution. But he annoyed Ababa enough. Now Joseph's able to run him down. The ball's going to go out of play into touch. Johnson lucky there he actually didn't make the contact. Otherwise, that would have certainly been a yellow card caution for Michael Johnson. As we've seen, Coach Butali, Scott Davis Hackenmuller on the sideline. It's not a place where you want him. You want him in the game. But on a yellow card caution, you've got to be somewhat smart about when you use him. The ball's going to fall for Briones, and it's going to go out of play.
Goal kick, Wildcats.
I mentioned one more event here coming up on the Eagan Wildcat camp, on the Eagan High School campus on September 29th. Dueling Pianos, the Sweet Keys are going to present Dueling Pianos. This is the combination from the Shout House from Block E, if you'll remember that. We're going to put on we're going to have a foul here against the Eagles. It's their second foul of the second half. We're going to have a charity event to raise funds for EHS United. That's for the adapted soccer programs, adapted sports programs. So the ball floats in, finds Villaseñor. Villaseñor is able to get to it. Just couldn't find anybody else, but there will be a fundraiser for EHS United from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the EHS Commons on the 29th. It is a fundraiser, so it should be a great night of music and some fun, and also raise some money for a worthy cause. So if you can stop by, that's great. Oh, big turnover there by the Wildcats. Nicely done by Sondag. He's able to run down the, I could not see, pick up the number. That deserves its own special mention. Oh, what a surprise. It's Espinoza Lopez again. Espinoza Lopez would have made a magnificent play on the ball. Wildcats back pass was intercepted, and Espinoza Lopez was off to the races. credit to Jake Sondag running that player down, running Espinoza down, and at least forcing him to have to slow up to wait for help. Wildcats have got to be more careful with the ball. The Apple Valley Eagles have already shown a propensity to make them pay for it. Here's Kamara feeling his oats. Villasenor going to try to dribble through a few players. His pass is intercepted. Ball comes back towards Kamara. Chipped ahead by Sondag. Axelrod comes out of it, comes with it, comes out of it. Now finds Villasenor. Villasenor's going to put the moves on. He's going to have his pass deflected. Negative play that time by the Wildcats. You get a sense that a little settling this ball down might be wise. As the ball now comes down to the Eagles, it's intercepted by Joseph. And the pace absolutely frenetic. Play completely disjointed for both teams at this moment. That's intercepted by Villasenor. Here's a great ball to Kamara. Kamara has it on his right foot. He puts it across the goal net. Oh my goodness, Melvin Kamara. It was a beautifully weighted ball by Emilio Villasenor. A beautifully weighted ball, and Kamara did a nice job to get a foot to it. He did not take a touch. To his credit, he didn't settle it. He knew he had to get rid of the ball quickly. He just slid it wide. Hard to see from our vantage point how close that was to the goal. But my guess is it was fairly, based on the reaction of the crowd and the Egan bench, my guess is it was fairly close. And Melvin Kamara making a case that not only should he be in the game a little bit more in terms of playing time, but also demonstrating that there's a handful of folks in blue out there who can score goals, and the Eagles need to pay attention to them. Girls tennis is at Lakeville South today. Girls swimming is taking on Eastview in the Falcon Ridge pool. On the 27th, the girls and boys cross country have the Cedar Lake Farm Up. That's I think that's their penultimate meet of the year. And then volleyball, girls volleyball is participating in the Apple Valley tourney, and then play on the 23rd and 24th, and then plays Burnsville on the 27th. This ball comes in for Joseph. Joseph's going to control. Smartly done by Jack Joseph. Joseph taken down, no call. The ball gets pitched over the top. Kettner came off. Now he doesn't come off. Now he comes off again. Hannon Axelrod finding out that physics can be somewhat tough to players who aren't of large stature. It was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, but why there was not a foul on Joseph or for Joseph's benefit towards the midfield is a bit confusing. There was no attempt on the ball at all, and Joseph was clearly knocked off his feet. Center referee has shown advantage several times with both arms in the air, but did not show at that time. So just a bit confusing. At least from our standpoint. Again, in the commentator's box, it's easy to ask those questions, a little harder to answer them when you're on the field wearing green.
One substitution for the Wildcats.
Charlie Burke is going to make his first appearance. Charlie Burke picked up his first varsity point on Tuesday night against Lakeville South with a beautiful knockdown assist on Derek Sietz's goal. Charlie Burke definitely brings something a little bit different because he's so long and so tall. Applebaugh's going to give that one a chase. Going to try to get it onto his left foot. There's pressure there. The ball comes back to Farich. It's intercepted that time by Villasenor, who runs right back into Farich. Villasenor deftly done. Pushes it up. Now Hackenmuller, who had checked back into the game. He's got Burke running. Oh, Hackenmuller took a big touch, but the defender did not play the ball. Here's Charlie Burke with an opportunity. I think that's going to get away from him. And it is. Apple Valley defender missed his opportunity. Hackenmuller had a big touch that got away from him. Had one of the two defenders stepped up, they would have easily taken the ball. Instead, Hackenmuller was able to continue his run. Lucky that Charlie Burke was not able to get on the other end of that, but in any event, Charlie Burke presents to these Eagles something a little bit different as he towers above both center backs and has shown him the ability to get up high in the air. Redland's going to chip that ball forward, look for Villaseñor on the outside. It's going to be put into touch by the Eagles. Wildcats playing with the ball on the near sideline and drifted into touch. Wildcat players a little confused as to why that ball was called out, but assistant referee Mohamed Zidane has the best seat in the house. Ball comes back for Walcott. Walcott plays back for Woodley. Woodley's going to send that forward. Finds Johnson. Nicely done that time by Ababaugh around Joseph. Oh, Johnson's pass intercepted. It's Hernandez. Finds Siet. Now comes back to Siet. Siet's got a little bit of room to run. Here's Charlie Burke flashing the speed. He's got the size. What's he going to do with this? He puts it back towards a teammate and hit it just too hard. See a replacements here for the Wildcats. Blake Prouty's going to check back in.
Going off Michael Johnson, number 13. And for the Eagles back in the game, number 21, Abdali Ahmed.
Abdali Ahmed, number 21, is going to check in. He's one of those players not on the roster. So I'm glad I was able to get his name in. Joseph's going to try to switch the field. Finds Sondag at the far side. Sondag doesn't even take a touch, chips it ahead for Hackenmuller. Ball falls for Hackenmuller a little bit there, just could not come up with it. Ball back for Walcott. Scored his first varsity goal against Shakopee about a week ago. Miklo Jones can unlock the the Eagle defense. That ball is going to come all the way back to Woodley. Brave there by Sondag. That was a long way for that ball to go. I think we have a potential, we're going to have a potential injury, a stoppage of the clock.
Injury on the field.
It's a collision between Sondag and the Eagle player who I just cannot pick up his number.
Alex Alicia, number 3, back in. Going off is number 19, Santiago Olivo.
Santiago Olivo checking out as he took the worst half of that collision between himself and Jake Sondag. Now it falls for Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller by 2 defenders. Hackenmuller not down. Could not see if that was going to be a foul or not. Based on the Egan bench reaction, it must have been a clean tackle. No indignation over there. Coach Boutali and Coach Anand gesturing, trying to get their players to go right where they want them to go. Ball falls for Siet. Siet's going to find Prouty. Prouty's going to get taken out. I think the referee's going to say that Prouty didn't make contact with anybody, that Prouty was trying to jump over someone and went down. There's a foul. Joseph finally does earn the foul. I think what the referee would say on that tackle on Prouty is that the defender didn't actually make any contact with Prouty. Prouty was trying to get around the defender to continue the play and couldn't keep his balance.
Number 7, Davis Hackenmuller.
In any event, Davis Hackenmuller is back in the game. He's going to take this free kick from about 45 yards out. It's on towards goal. It's out. And it will go for a corner. First corner of the second half for the Wildcats.
Corner kick for the Wildcats. Their third, first of the second half. From the near side with Davis Hackenmuller, number 7.
Hackenmuller's going to put his right foot to it, but not before the center referee has a chat with Miklo Jones about making contact with the goalie. Mikolo Jones knows that he can't contact the goalie, but he's able to stand wherever he wants as long as he's not fouling the goalie. Ball comes in. It's headed away by the Eagles. Falls for Prouty. Prouty plays it off an Eagle. Falls for Jones. Comes back for Hackenmuller, who tries to go to his left foot. And I'm unclear exactly what happened there. I don't think Hackenmuller committed a foul. Oh, the ball must have gone out of bounds. Unlike the first half, where we had a substantial pace of goals being scored, the second half here has so far been scoreless. Hackenmuller hoists it forward, and Charlie Burke was offsides. Quickly taken by the Eagles. Here's an opportunity for the Eagles as they chip it all the way over, looking for Ababa. Can't quite get to it. Joseph smartly takes care of it. Ball slid forward. Here's an opportunity. Charlie Burke might be able to make this run. Kiefer puts that into touch. Charlie Burke is not just tall. He's got some straight line speed. And it was a well-weighted pass by Derek Seat. Seat's dispossessed. Wildcats trying to control the ball in the midfield, not succeeding there. As Walcott comes out and plays it over to Joseph. Joseph picks out Seat. Seat tries to use his head, get it to Prouty, who had made a run. Seat now chips it all the way over for Hackenmuller. It falls for Charlie Burke. Now it falls for Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller puts a right foot to it. Oh, unlucky that time. There was a collision between Hackenmuller and one of the Eagles.
Shot taken, Davis Hackenmuller, number 7.
It's Brian Briones on the far side. Not sure if he got clipped on the follow-through on Hackenmuller or whether he just turned something on the way down. The clock is stopped with 19:38 remaining. Take a quick reminder, after this game, approximately 25 minutes after this game, we will have girls varsity action again between the Eagan Wildcats and the Apple Valley Eagles. Another important game for section and conference bragging rights. Hopefully this is just a cramp for Briones, who's played much of the game credibly for the Eagles. As we said, the Eagan Wildcats will finish the season against the Rosemount Irish in the first week of October, and then after that game, only a handful of days after that game, the section quarterfinals will be held. Briones is up and moving with some help over to the sideline. It remains to be seen exactly if the Wildcats will get a home game or not. Pay attention to the ETV YouTube channel as well as their Twitter handle or Twitter feed, because you will find out whether ETV is able to broadcast. Now you might say, if the Eagan Wildcats have a home game, why wouldn't ETV broadcast? And of course, that would be their goal and preference, but the Minnesota State High School League has some very strict rules about broadcasting playoffs, which of course those are the playoffs, and so the Minnesota State High School League has some very specific rules about that. And so as a result, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But last year we were able to broadcast the quarterfinal game between the Wildcats and Bloomington Jefferson, and hopefully we'd be able to do it again this year. But pay attention to the Twitter feed to get all the information. Everybody in blue pointing one way, but referees all pointing in another direction, and that means the Wildcats are going to be on the losing end of that argument. Unclear why the referee did not stop the game there. I know he's going to play effectively. He played advantage, but that's not the right. It's really not the right call.
Apple Valley substitution back in the game.
Prouty's attempted
Going off number 21, Valley
through
High.
ball clipped the center referee fairly hard. I think he's smiling about it now, but it probably stung a bit. The aforementioned Prouty gets ahead to it. Falls for Ababa. Taken away there by Villasenor. Falls for Sondag. Sondag with his right foot. What's he going to do on the far side? Nicely done. Moves in now. Switches feet back to the right. Tries to dribble through a couple of defenders. It's chipped ahead. Falls for Siet. Siet puts it on frame, or tries to put it on frame and can't.
Shot taken, Derek Siet, number 10, out of bounds.
It's a ball that can give him that opportunity too many more times. The Eagles will be playing with fire. We've seen Derek Siet score from that distance and in that situation. If you leave him unmolested, he will almost always put that on. That time he just didn't have quite as much time as he would have liked. But he still had a quality opportunity. Wildcats with 11 shots. Officially Eagles with 8. Nate McKinnon has checked in, taking Tyler Walcaus's position at center back. Charlie Burke setting up effectively like a pick or a screen for Siet. Here's an opportunity for the Eagles. Nicely done there by Prouty not to commit the foul. Now they're going to call the foul. What's unclear is whether it looks like they're going to bring it back. The referee was playing advantage but did not make the signal that time. He has signaled earlier, but forgive me for in the commentating position, it's hard to tell exactly what's in his mind. Beautiful ball over the top. It's played away by Redlin. Nicely done. Finds Sondag again. Now he's going to get it on his right foot and send it up the line. Chip back in where McKinnon gets ahead to it. Nathan McKinnon, as we said before, playing some of the best soccer of his life over the last handful of games. He's been a real pest for the opposition. Done things in a very no-nonsense way. As Charlie Burke's going to get called for the foul. Looks like the Eagle player is still down. Both players were going for the ball, and it looked like the Eagle player got the worst end of it.
Free kick, Eagles.
Physics is a cruel opponent. Take this opportunity to thank our ETV crew, our award-winning ETV crew, Greg Borman, Nick Mudd, and Michelle Nielsen. Thank you very much for bringing these sights and sounds and making those of us who call the games for ETV look so good. Speaking of looking good, here come the Eagles. The nice move around Sondag. Some contact there near the top of the penalty area. Nicely done that time by the Wildcats. Prouty puts it out into safety. Burke is held up. Now Burke comes free with it. Burke's going to have an opportunity. He's going to go through multiple defenders. That ball, I think, is going to get out into touch, and that's going to be a Wildcat throw. Charlie Burke was like a Freightliner just moving through the defenders. Definitely the kind of play you want to see out of Charlie Burke. See it, Joseph. Joseph's cross looking for Hackenmuller. Can't quite come up with it. Hackenmuller plays out for Sondag. Sondag's cross knocks a player down. Now we've switched sides. And Villasenor. The longer the game goes, knotted up at 3, the more intense it seems to be getting. Of course, Apple Valley and Eagan are intra-district rivals. The Apple Valley boys soccer program has counted its share of wins against the Wildcats over the last handful of years, including a playoff quarterfinal win a few years back. I think you can probably hear some of the yelling and screaming from both the benches as well as the fans as this falls now for Jones. Ball comes back for Redland, the senior captain, who finds Prouty. Prouty with a nice move. And Prouty sends it over. Hackenmuller's going to get there. He's going to have an opportunity. He's going to cross it in. Charlie Burke ran too deep. Oh, my goodness, Charlie Burke. Oh, Charlie Burke was too deep. It was a great play by Hackenmuller to get to that ball and fire it negative, but Burke was too deep. Now here's an opportunity. Good defensive header that time by the Eagles. Redlands with a nice step up. His shot's blocked. Nicely done that time by Joseph to put that into touch. I think we're going to have yes, we are going to have another Eagle injury.
Like a stop, injury on the field.
Charlie Burke he'll want that one back when he watches the film, because he had to know that Hackenmuller was not going to be able to put that on net because he had gotten so deep. And it's just unfortunate that Charlie Burke wasn't able to stop just a little higher up on a little deeper, a little more shallow, I should say. So he wasn't quite as close to the goal. But in any event, it shows that Hackenmuller is dangerous and that Charlie Burke knows that his job is to crash for goals.
Back into the game, Valley Ahmed, number 21, and going off, number 11, John Zamora Acapina.
Acapina going off with the injury.
Play resumes.
Less than now 13 minutes to go in the game. Eagles coming hard. Ball gets played back to Woodley. See it, sends it forward, but Burke not able to get on the end of it. It's the second game in a row here at home at Wildcat Stadium where Derek Seat has been playing in an attacking midfield position as opposed to a forward position, and I think it's fair to say that it gets him more touches and certainly keeps him involved, and we've seen his ability to pass the ball and set up his teammates as a very positive thing. As this goes now for a corner. This will be the first corner of the second half for the Eagles. But Derek Seat, obviously a very good player, a very important player, a senior captain for these Wildcats, leading the team both in assists as well as goals.
Corner kick, Apple Valley.
Corner kick's going to swing in. They rise up for it. Redland got ahead to it. And Seat puts it behind the net. Safety first. Now we'll see if another player is going to come forward and take this corner now.
Their second of the second half. This kick from the near side.
This will be a left foot in swinger.
Kevin Hernandez Perez on the kick.
They rise up for it. The ball gets played away. Will Hackenmuller win the race? He blocks it. Nicely done. Now Hackenmuller and Charlie Burke have 2-on-2. Hackenmuller's going to send it forward for Burke. Burke can't quite control it. Unlucky that time for Charlie Burke. But a step, now a win by Joseph. And the ball is smartly put into touch that time by the Eagles defense. Charlie Burke had been able to corral that one. He might have had a breakaway.
Michael
Johnson's going to check in for Daniel Redland.
Daniel Redland, number 17.
A good shift for Redland at center back. Presumably Johnson's going to go in for center back as well and play that center back, the other center back position next to McKinnon. Ball's going to go into touch off of the Eagles. Finds Villasenor. I'm not sure why that's not a handball. That looked like the cross was blocked by the Eagle player. There was a shout from not only the benches but from the fans. It sure looked like the Eagle player had his hands up around his head when that ball came up. Given the setter referee's propensity to call penalty kicks in the game, certainly would think that if there was a foul, he would ring up the Eagles. In any event, ball's going to get switched to the side. It's going to get pinballed back to Joseph. Joseph's going to find Johnson. Johnson with it. He's going to have company very quickly. Tries to find Charlie Burke but can't. Falls for Jones. Nice defensive header there by McKinnon. Oh, and it slips for Seat. Now it comes for Burke. and Siet's going to earn the foul. There's a real opportunity for these Wildcats from about 35 yards out, just inside 35 yards. Hackenmuller's going to take the kick. Wait for all the Wildcats to get forward, or at least a number of the Wildcats. Actually, the Wildcats holding back 3 defenders behind Hackenmuller. I have to say I'm a bit surprised given the speed that they have. But in any event, that's where we're at. Hackenmuller with it. Ball comes in towards Castor, and just goes over the top. It's a goal kick to the Eagles. Hackenmuller disappointed with his delivery, but given his goal he scored earlier in the game, you like his chances, unmolested, to put that towards the top corner. And Axelrod's going to check in for Burke. Less than 8.5 minutes to go now in the game. You get a sense that there's going to be some late drama here between the Eagles and the Wildcats. The question is, which team's going to come out on the better end of that drama? Ball attempted to be slid in that time for Jones, who had made a run. Comes back to Jones. Now finds Hackenmuller off of Siet. Oh, unlucky that time. It was a good combination build up there by the Wildcats. They could not get the weight of the pass correct. The ball deflects oddly off of McKinnon. It's played back to safety by Sondag. Woodley comes out of his net and sends it forward. Evan Woodley hasn't had much to do here in this second half. Ball gets hoisted over everybody and put into touch that time by McKinnon. We're going to have substitutions that will hold up the throw for the Eagles.
John Zamora Pina, number 11, back in, going off. Abdali Ahmed, number 21.
A handball here by the Wildcats.
Foul on the Wildcats. Free kick.
Other than the leaving aside the corner kicks taken earlier by the Eagles, the 2 corners, this is probably as good an opportunity as they've had here. That ball gets chipped in, nicely done. Gets deflected towards goal, and Woodley smartly off his line corrals it. Less than 6.5 to go now, and as I said earlier, you just get the feeling that this place is ready to explode. Apple Valley fans are excited. The Wildcat fans are excited. The atmosphere is tense. And you also get a sense that there's going to be some drama. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Somebody's going to make a great play. Something's going to happen here in the next few minutes. Don't turn away. Nice play on the far side by the Eagles. Falls for Ababa. Ababa tries to unleash. Gets blocked by Prouty. Doesn't see Villasenor. Villasenor takes it away. Looks for Axelrod. Couldn't quite corral it. It falls that time. Nicely done. Johnson has it and then loses it. Sondag making no doubt about his clearance as Siet gets pushed from behind. Nicely done there by Villasenor and Axelrod. And they're going to call a foul on Axelrod, which is unfortunate.
Calling the Wildcats.
Fans not happy. I don't think fans either side happy about that one. The Wildcat fans complaining that Ababa hauled down the Wildcat players. Axelrod hauled down Axelrod, and then the Apple Valley Eagle fans unhappy that Axelrod wasn't given a yellow card caution.
23, Brian Briones back in the game, going off number 8, Abe Ababa.
As it is, Briones will take Ababa's place, and they'll do some movement around
They will
the
resume with a free kick
Apple
for
Valley
Eagles.
back line. Still just over 5 minutes to go as the clock stops. Ball finds its way to the edge of the penalty area where it's cleared out over the overhead kick by the Wildcats. That will go behind the net, off the Wildcats for the third corner of the second half for the Eagles.
Corner kick for the Eagles, their 5th. From the far side with Victor Espinoza Lopez, number 10.
Espinoza Lopez's corner is headed away. All short. Now it lands for Villasenor. Villasenor hoofs it all the way over for Axelrod. Axelrod breaking his neck to get there. He goes down, no contact there, little contact. Siet's got opportunity. He's got some room, and he slides it wide. Oh, Derek Siet wants that one back. You can see him writhing on the turf saying, why did I miss? He's done that so many times in his high school career, moving to the right, cutting back, and going for the left corner. And it just didn't come off. Axelrod with a brilliant run. And the lights certainly have come on here. And we've got excitement for the last 4 minutes of this game. Now remember, just to be clear, if we do finish knotted at 3, there will be extra time, and we'll talk about the rules of that should it be necessary. And the Wildcats certainly looking for Siet, which is a smart thing to do given his propensity to score late in games. Even in the Farmington game, it was Siet who slammed home on the volley a goal to make it a 2-1 game very late. The game the Wildcats really were outplayed, and still they had an opportunity with the last 5 minutes to tie the game. Jones's missed tackle. Now Johnson cleans it up. Johnson again, shoulder to shoulder. Nicely done. Falls for Jones again. Jones is going to find Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller's going to hoist that forward and give Siet an opportunity. Siet does have an opportunity. He gets it on his left foot. He gets it on his right foot. Left foot, right foot, shot! Castor, nicely done. Siet was harassed by 2 defenders. They did an excellent job not fouling him in the penalty area, and Castor was able to stay with that ball. You like Siet's chances to score there, and Castor was able to slam the door. Villasenor being shielded. Play down the near side. Now it comes back for Woodley. Woodley's ball pops straight up into the air. Not the clearance he was looking for. The Eagles will battle for it. Axelrod tries to go around Farich. Does not come off. Now the ball gets laid off for Taylor. Big cross coming in. It's played away that time by Sondag. Nicely done. Sondag takes a big touch, though. Fortunately, the ball falls for Prouty. Prouty's going to hoist that forward. No Wildcat was making the run. And the ball's going to go out of bounds. Now the Wildcats are going to see if they can take advantage of the Eagles being out of position. Not that time. But clock stoppage as
Center referee stops the clock. Injury on the field.
one of the Wildcats is down. And that's Hackenmuller on the far side being helped by one of the Apple Valley Eagles. Looks like a cramp of some sort. Certainly with the weather turning colder, cramps are a little less likely, but Still substantial amount of cramping going on with these guys, both teams. Several players have had to come off the field after not feeling their best. We're heading into the last minute of the game. And we'll see, does either team have some 1 minute magic? Well, here's an opportunity for the Eagles. Shot is blocked. That's going to get out of play. It's going to go for a very deep throw. See if the Eagles are able to take this quickly. The clock does not stop. Less than 40 seconds now to go. Wildcats definitely all hands to the defensive pump. Ball comes in. It's played away by Joseph. Falls for one Eagle. Now it comes for, we have a foul against the Eagles. That was Sondag who got run over. 18 seconds remain. Joseph's going to step to that, find Hannon Axelrod. Axelrod's going to throw that towards, look at Kamara! Kamara's got an opportunity! He scores! Melvin Kamara with 3 seconds left! Melvin Kamara, you've got sprinkles on your DQ, man, because you just put the Wildcats into the win column! Melvin Kamara did not give up. It was a brilliant run. The Eagles had given up. The Eagles had shut down, expecting their keeper either to come out and get the ball or that the clock would run out. And Melvin Kamara, congratulations, young man. You have just scored to put the Egan Wildcats on top, 4-3. Melvin Kamara walking on cloud 9, absolutely brilliant. He stayed with it.
0.
And scores. And the Wildcats charge the field. They're excited. And why shouldn't they be? With 3 seconds to go, Melvin Kamara wins it for the Wildcats. The Eagle defenders had given up. Castor, I don't know if they expected Castor to come out and claim the ball or exactly what was going on, but Melvin Kamara did not give up. And he buries it past Castor for a 4-3 victory for the Wildcats. Unfortunate result for the Eagles, as for much of the game they were the equals to the Wildcats. But Melvin Kamara scores the game winner. That's 3 goals for Melvin Kamara this week. And don't you think he's going to be getting some more playing time moving forward, because he never gave up on that ball, and that's exactly what you want to see. Well, for our award-winning ETV crew, a very happy Egan High School boys soccer team. Applaud their fans, winning 4-3 over the Apple Valley Eagles, giving themselves a leg up both in the conference as well as the section. And as we pointed out earlier, ladies and gentlemen, remember we've got girls varsity action here coming up in about 20 minutes. So for Nathan Cron, myself, as well as our award-winning ETV crew, we'll step aside and be back for girls varsity action in about 20 minutes. Thanks very much.